Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Are you guys ready for mass adoption? James Rule XRP posted this a couple of days ago, and I thought it was poignant because to understand the sheer magnitude of this crypto bull run, maybe some of you guys don't really get it yet, that this is ultimately going to make the bull run of 2017 look like a Mickey Mouse run. So this with regards to family offices, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about this first. As the cryptocurrency market begins to defrost with Bitcoin appreciating over 20% in price in just 1 week, retail and institutional investors alike are increasing capital allocations into digital assets. So first, we know that, when the market was bearish, nobody was really talking about Bitcoin and XRP and all those other cryptocurrencies. But now real investors, mega investors are realizing this, and they are allocating more capital to such assets. Much of the interest in digital assets continues to be driven by global geopolitical instability and increased monetary stimulus, as economists and investors question the future of the declining US dollar. So there's also that on the table. In May, hedge fund pioneer Paul Tudor Jones co-authored a letter to his investors with Lorenzo Giorgiani, former deputy head of the International Monetary Fund Policy Department, articulating the need for diversification into uncorrelated assets in order to hedge potential inflation. And we were talking about inflation yesterday. And so here's a quote to that effect, ultimately stating, if I'm forced to forecast, my bet is it will be Bitcoin. This one talking about a maximizing profit strategy. And so he says, I guess I'll just read you some of the quote here. At the end of the day, the best profit maximizing strategy is to own the fastest horse. And down here he says he bets it will be Bitcoin. As we know, Bitcoin has obviously offered many significant gains over the last decade. And these guys are just realizing this now. Last week, I sat down with many of the prominent family office investors in Europe and the Middle East and gathered their strategies firsthand. So it took place in there. They talk a little bit about that. These past months have been challenging for all of us, yet they have provided time to reflect on actionable strategies for making the world a better place. Okay, traditionally, multi-generational family offices are risk-adverse, focusing on wealth preservation rather than rapid new wealth creation. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies continue to be too high a risk to make it into the general family portfolio. So we're talking about big family estates here, guys. We're talking about mega wealthy people understanding that preserving familial wealth is how they are going to allow generation upon generation upon generation to kind of sit back and do nothing. Ultimately, the millennial generation within the families, however, see the potential, often holding a modest investment in digital assets in personal portfolios, while allocating family assets into flight to safety assets like gold and real estate, earning a modest return on investment. So the younger members of the family obviously seeing the potential in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. They mentioned Bitcoin specifically in this article, obviously, for obvious reasons. But here's what I found interesting, and this speaks to XRP being utilized, being that cryptocurrency that is now being offered on many different platforms to settle through. So speaking on the digital assets panel at the summit, Michael Gord, founder and CEO of Global Digital Assets, discussed the advantages of tokenizing real-world assets. So family offices already hold safe assets such as gold and real estate and will always look to hold those assets for capital preservation. Putting those assets on the blockchain allows them to decrease their custody fees and collect dividends on the assets they already hold through making these assets transactable. So two things. First of all, talking about getting into riskier assets like cryptocurrencies, but also for those assets that these family offices do hold that are traditionally safer assets, that they can actually put those on the blockchain and settle through something like, R3's Corda perhaps has the capability of settling through XRP. Just giving you one example of that. But ultimately, I just wanted to talk about the fact that this is where we are going with the economy. This is where these multi-generational wealth-building families are looking to put their money. Now they're looking for a vehicle that will ramp up growth as part of their portfolio. So they are definitely eyeing Bitcoin. They are definitely eyeing cryptocurrencies, and they're not the only one. This is from XRP Crypto Wolf. A $1.2 billion publicly traded company may start investing in Bitcoin and gold to avoid inflation. So this with regards to a company called MicroStrategy, a publicly traded company worth $1.2 billion, told shareholders last week that it plans to invest $250 million in alternative investments or assets, a strategy shift that could see the firm buying Bitcoin in particular. The company's president and chief financial officer, Feng Li, made the comment on a June 28th earning call, according to a transcript published by The Motley Fool. Their remark came in the context of returning value to shareholders. So they talk a little bit about where they are going to allocate their investments. Guys, here's the quote. I will link this article in the description. Accordingly, today we are announcing a capital allocation strategy under a plan, blah, 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 12 months in one or more alternative investment or asset, which may include stocks, bonds, commodities such as gold, digital assets such as Bitcoin, or other asset types. So these big investment firms also looking to get into the Bitcoin, or rather cryptocurrency game. I'm sure that they won't just hold Bitcoin. I'm sure they have professionals there giving them some idea as to what are the best cryptocurrencies to be investing in. But again, of course, just so the masses understand, they talk about Bitcoin to give a sense of, oh, we're getting into that. I see. And the market, guys, still looking really, really strong. This is XRP on the hourly. We can see a lot of movement at the beginning as we saw a correction, but this is looking positive for a continuation of an upward trend. Again, this is on the hourly. So over the last several hours, we saw a lot of volume, a lot of movement, and then it kind of settled down, but still making higher lows. And XRP trading in this channel that is just getting narrower. You don't see much price action at the moment. It's because buyers and sellers have cooled off right now. They're finding that price at about 30 cents where they find that it is fair to sell and buy XRP at the moment. But this is positive, guys, because it's not just like traders are buying up XRP and then dumping it as soon as they make a profit quickly. So you can see it here on the daily, and the positive momentum just went up all last week. And only a few days now have we seen some negative pressure, but the positive pressure definitely outweighs the negative, and you can see that here reflected in the volume as well. Bitcoin, let's bring up Bitcoin real quick. A bit more volatile for Bitcoin, but we are still seeing Bitcoin base in that 11,700 range approximately. It did rally up here after holding at about 11,002, now trading at about 11,700. So what could the outcome be? Well, guys, I saw this from Michael at Val5Links on Twitter, and we talked a little bit about this last week. The fact that Grayscale actually increased their XRP position, and it looks as though they have increased it some more. So Grayscale now has $5.5 billion worth of digital assets under management. So here's the article. Grayscale Investments has been loading up on digital assets for a while now, more so when prices have been depressed, and talks a little bit about why they're doing it. In addition to Bitcoin, Grayscale also offers trust funds in Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, Litecoin, Stellar Lumens, Ethereum Classic, Zcash, and Horizon. The total asset under management have just hit another milestone, 5.5 billion. So we talked a little bit about how Grayscale increased their XRP position by 68, I believe it was 68% in just a 24-hour period. And now on August 5th, which was yesterday, it has actually increased it some more, about 22.5% since that time last week. So Grayscale obviously buying up some more XRP, now sitting at $7.6 million, an increase of 22.5%, another 22.5% on top of the 68% from the 24-hour window, up another 22.5% in another week. So that is great news. I did do a video. Oh yeah, here's the video that I did, and I was going to show you this. I will link this video in the description. This is last week's video from August 1st, showing you guys Grayscale XRP Trust at 6.2 million down here. And now at 7.6 million, you guys can see in this tweet here. And MacAttack XRP posted this on Twitter. Ripple director for South America indicates RippleNet priorities and dismisses concerns about XRP. So this with regards to, I believe it was a Brazilian... Since Ripple, okay, let me read you this. Since Ripple's operation launched in Brazil this June, its activity has been led by regional director Luiz Antonio Sacco. Right. In a recent interview with tech media outlet Computer World Brazil, he highlighted the crucial importance of progress in South America for Ripple Inc. He talks a little bit about how Ripple and XRP are very, very different. But then down here it says this: speaking of the advantages of RippleNet, Mr. Sacco said that it is the backbone of Ripple's solution for the region. He emphasized the high speed and low cost of its cross-border transactions. Building the multinational financial environment is a priority for Ripple. Mr. Sacco underlined that Ripple Inc.'s expansion into Brazil followed the launch of its systems in Argentina, Paraguay, Chile, and Peru. Nowadays, the company processes a huge volume of payments in the South American region, the director claimed. Ripple has partnered with leaders of the banking industry in South America. According to the official announcement, prior to the launch of operations, Ripple has partnered with top-level companies within the framework of the RippleNet payment ecosystem. Give some examples here and obviously talks about how the fees have dropped. Mr. Sacco stresses the importance of Brazil as a flagship country in terms of the adoption of cutting-edge payment solutions. And Brazil, guys, you got to remember, in South America, a very, very economically important country for that continent. Brazil is a leader in fintech innovation and positioned to forge a path for the rest of Latin America to follow. So Ripple getting in good with Brazil, obviously leading the way for fintech innovation in South America, and it looks as though they are doing an amazing job at that. Another tweet here, guys, this one from Matthew at Matt L-I-N-Y, or rather at Matthew L-I-N-Y on Twitter. AMF is a RippleNet partner. If they clear the ADE on the BUNA platform, XRP will be needed for other digital currency transactions. So this with regards to the CB AMF announcement, signing of agreement to offer clearing, payment, settlement services in the AED. So the Central Bank of the UAE and the Arab Monetary Fund, the AMF, announced the signing of an agreement to offer clearing and payment settlement services in the Emirati Dirhams AED through the BUNA platform for Arab payments. After the completion of technical link operations, the announcement concludes the efforts of teams from the bank and platform to link their systems as well as perform tests and conduct procedures aimed at making the AED the platform's first settlement currency. Through the platform, participating banks in Arab countries will be able to clear and settle cross-border payments in AED and reduced costs. The AED accounts for a large percentage of Arab payments, with transactions accounting for over 13% of Arab financial transactions, barring individual transfers via foreign currency exchange companies. So that is big news for the United Arab Emirates, and like Matt mentions here, AMF is a RippleNet partner, and so if they do clear this, the platform will be running through XRP for those foreign transactions where the transfer of currency, or rather a currency conversion, will be needed. So thanks so much, Matt, for posting that. More news here for traders, guys. This from XRP Crypto Wolf. Binance is adding a new trading pairs. This one, the Australian dollar and XRP. So for you Australians out there looking for an XRP trading pair, Binance has now got your back with the AUD. So here are some of the trading pairs. They've opened up more trading pairs as of today, August 6th. And as of tomorrow, the XRP/AUD will be released. Also, the BNB AUD and the AUD USDT will be operational for trading. Binance clearly looking to on and off ramp as many people as they can before this next crypto bull run really starts heating up. So how many Australians do I have out there in the audience? How many of you guys listen to the channel? Do you guys use Binance? Or do you use something else at the moment? And if you do use something else right now, will you switch to Binance because of this new development? Please put it down in the comments, because I am sincerely curious to know what Binance's strategy is. If they are able to operate in different countries, which we know they are, probably not all countries, but where do their priorities lie in terms of pairing certain popular cryptocurrencies with that country's fiat currency? This is kind of where I'm seeing Binance being strategic, I suppose, in a way, because I have a feeling that they realize where most of their traffic is. Well, I'm sure they definitely know where most of their traffic is coming from, and they are pairing those countries' fiat currencies accordingly. So yes, if you are Australian, put it down in the comments section if you do use Binance. Even if you don't, tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, you don't have to do that. Anyway, just interested to know if you use Binance, if you use a different exchange. Let me know in the comments. Guys, this is a big development too. Did you hear about this? Swipple? Yes, Anders Lumberg has now coined the term Swipple, and this has to do with Swissroot. It now offers both Swift and Ripple in one platform. I also saw this from Leonidas on Twitter, who runs the XRP Arcade. So let me read a little bit about this. IBIS adds Ripple connectivity to Swissroot, offering both Swiss and Ripple in one platform. What does that mean, guys? So IBIS Management Associates, Inc., a leading international financial institution consultancy and payment solution developer in the Caribbean and the Americas, has added Ripple connectivity to its Swissroot cloud service. So Swissroot, what is it? Apparently it was developed by IBIS Management Associates in partnership with Finastra to provide institutions with connectivity to Swift Payment Gateway. Finastra, a Ripple partner, by the way. With Swissroot as an adapter to connect the modern banking world, clients can now connect multiple banks through a single secure channel. Once connected, business flows can be streamlined and automated by communicating with their banking partners using global standardized ISO and proprietary format MT messages. With Swissroot, clients don't need to acquire or license any of their proprietary Swift hardware or software required to connect to their network. Instead, they can leverage IBIS's secure cloud-based service. So Swissroot RippleNet adapter, IBIS has announced the new adapter on August 3rd, and here is a tweet to that effect. You can see down here the big Ripple logo right front and center in the middle of the road. IBIS now offers the practicality of having both Swift and Ripple in one pocket with no more limitations to one's banking possibilities. With the Swissroot RippleNet TM adapter, processing transactions through the RippleNet TM will be easier, offering an out-of-the-box integration. And so guys, IBIS describes it as this: a blockchain-based solution that removes the friction of cross-border payments by enabling the world to securely move money the way information moves today. The solution works within a large network of partners. This network enables financial institutions to efficiently engage with hundreds of counterparties and settle payments in real time with a single API connection. Now, if they didn't have a problem with just using Swift, why would they integrate Ripple? Of course, think about it from a business standpoint. Using Swift alone just doesn't cut it anymore. And so this is a win-win for IBIS because they have now integrated this, and so their customers can choose. What would I rather use? I could use, maybe they've integrated it so they can use a combination of both, or just Swift, or just Ripple. My thought, though, is that at the end of the day, once a customer decides that one solution is better than the other, they will probably go with that solution exclusively. That's just my opinion on this. And it's funny because a lot of people are saying the same thing. So Anders Lundberg is saying Swipple, obviously, coining that term. Pretty funny, actually. Coiner down here says RippleNet jumping into Swift's multi-hop. I read it as Swissroot offering their customers both options and letting them compete against each other. There's only going to be one left standing. That from XRP Franco, and I think that that's a very, very astute comment that he makes there. If you have the two major competitors side by side and your customers are looking at this thinking, okay, I can go with the one that I've always been going with. I can try Ripple. Let's see what happens. And so they try Ripple. They realize how much more efficient it is, how much quicker it is, how much cheaper it is. Why wouldn't they continue using it from there on out? German crypto guy has even made a new logo, the Swipple logo, which is quite funny. So there you guys have it, the Swissroot integration with Ripple and Swift. Thanks so much to Anders Lundberg and to Leonidas for posting those. And a new ad here on Twitter, guys, for the WireX card, brought to you by the Cryptic Poet. WireX launches a brand new TV ad campaign on how to spend, exchange, buy, and store XRP and other currencies. Now, just going to play you this without volume. It is an ad showing you the WireX card. It's only about 15 seconds long. Again, I will link this tweet in the description, but ultimately suggesting that you can use cryptocurrencies to pay with a credit card with your new WireX card. And so this is just the first step. This is going hand in hand with the cryptocurrency market rallying, and I'm sure, more people are going to jump on board with cryptocurrencies and WireX, also participating with their new ad campaign, getting the word out that you can now buy, exchange, spend, store, anything you want to do with your cryptocurrencies on the WireX card. So I know WireX isn't available in every country, so you got to look into that if your country supports WireX. But just another hint towards the masses adopting cryptocurrency on that mainstream scale. Thanks so much, the Cryptic Poet, for posting that. And so, guys, I got to finally bring it to this. This from Peter Pumpkin Eater at Yes, I'll Have Some on Twitter. This is one of my favorite videos by XRP Mister. You guys might know him as Mr. B on Twitter. Definitely worth a close viewing. And I will confirm that this is a great video. I will link this video, Mr. B's video, in the description. I suggest you guys watch it. He's been an invaluable member of the XRP community for a very long time now. Here is him on Twitter if you guys are not following Mr. B XRP. And so Peter Pumpkin Eater just isolates this little clip that I'm not going to play, but we're going to discuss some of the topics, namely XRP being bought by Ripple, as we had mentioned in the Q2 report from a few days ago now, and why that's not actually a bad thing. It has to do with price and the potential for XRP price rising in the blink of an eye. So just to give you guys a little bit of background on Mr. B, well, not too much background, but I wanted to bring this up. This is a pinned tweet from Mr. B XRP on his Twitter account, him with David Schwartz at last year's Swell event in Singapore. That is important because what I'm going to talk about relies on the fact that Mr. B gives us a quote, or rather paraphrases something David Schwartz said to him at Swell back in November 2019. Okay, and this has to do with XRP price. Now, first let's go on to this video. This from Mr. B XRP. Why is Ripple buying XRP? Ripple Q2 2020 XRP Markets Report. Again, I will link this full video in the description. I suggest you guys watch this. Lots of people were discussing the fact that, you know, the Q2 report came out and Ripple said that total sales were 32.55 million versus the 1.75 million from previous quarters. Ripple continued the pause of programmatic sales, focusing solely on its over-the-counter sales as part of providing increased XRP liquidity to RippleNet's on-demand liquidity customers. This added liquidity is vital to ODL, and it continues to evolve and expand into new corridors. Ripple also went on to say, and here's the important part, guys, a healthy, orderly XRP market is required to minimize cost and risk for customers, and Ripple plays a responsible role in the liquidity process as more financial institutions leverage Ripple's ODL service. More liquidity is added into the XRP market. That said, Ripple has been a buyer in the secondary market and may continue to undertake purchases in the future at market prices. Some of us were thinking, why does Ripple need more XRP? Well, Mr. B suggests that Ripple doesn't actually need more XRP. And when I was thinking about it, it kind of makes sense. What Ripple is trying to do is mitigate the XRP market. Now, hold on. Before you guys say, but that's market manipulation, just listen to the theory behind this. Obviously, Ripple has a vested interest in XRP. Ripple has also gone on the record to say XRP needs to be at a certain price in order for us to target high-value payments. This is no secret. This has been out there. I've talked about it in multiple videos over the last 2 years or so. We also know about the escrow. We also know about Ripple releasing 1 billion XRP per month from escrow. So why? Why would they need to keep buying XRP on the secondary market? Well, here's the theory, guys. In order to maintain healthy ODL liquidity, Ripple needs to keep the price of XRP relatively stable so as not to scare off their current customers and potential customers that might want to sign on for them. Well, you're thinking, but that's XRP manipulation. They can't do that. Aha, but they're saying they would be buying in the secondary market and continue to undertake purchases in the future at market prices. So the market price is whatever the price of the market commands, whether it's 30 cents or 19 cents, which it was 2 weeks ago, that is what Ripple will buy it at. So first of all, there's nothing illegal that is going on here. Why would they need to do it? Why do they need to keep the XRP price stable? Well, Mr. B goes into this, and again, guys, I really do suggest you watch his video. Put it to you this way. If Ripple kept the price stable at 30 cents, that would piss a lot of us off, I'm sure, okay? But if the price of XRP was at $30 or $40 or $50 per XRP, and they kept it stable at that price, wouldn't that make you guys happy? And I think for a lot of us, it would make us very, very happy because it would mean that we wouldn't have to time the market. It would mean that we wouldn't have to wait for the price rise, try to get out of our XRP position at the absolute highest possible price without it collapsing back down again. And, it would relieve a lot of stress, I think, ultimately is what I'm saying here. So why? Why do we think that Ripple would do this for us? Well, they wouldn't be doing it for us. They'd be doing it for their clients first and foremost. And why are you suggesting that it would be at $50 or $40 or $30 or whatever? Well, we already know Ripple says XRP needs to be at a high price to target those large value payments. And guys, here's something else I want to tell you. Now, this is an alleged comment from David Schwartz to Mr. B XRP. He mentions it in his video. So if you want to hear it from Mr. B himself, he does explain that at the Swell conference, Mr. B did talk to David Schwartz and asked him, essentially, Are we going to see XRP price rise slowly, just kind of over time? Or are we going to see all these big players get into the market all at once and boom, we're going to see a high price of XRP essentially in the blink of an eye? And here is what allegedly David Schwartz did tell Mr. B XRP. Now, I trust Mr. B, so I'm going to take his word for this that he isn't lying to us. Of course, he's got a channel as well. He's got a Twitter. If he were lying to us, that would ruin his credibility. Here's what he said David told him. He ultimately said this: the problem with the price of XRP going up slowly over time is that as soon as it hits 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, well, you guys know, think about it. When we see the market rise by 5 or 10 cents every single hour, look at how excited the XRP community gets, and it fuels more buying, more people get into the market, and guys, ultimately, what happens is this, okay? What happens is, let me just bring it up here, this. One day XRP is trading at 22 cents. 3 weeks later, XRP is trading at all-time highs of $3 and change. Now, in order to preserve clients' confidence, this just can't happen. So David Schwartz suggested the problem with it rising slow and gradually is that it will be too much of a shock to clients. So ultimately what David was inferring is that XRP needs to shoot up essentially in the blink of an eye. And then at that point, Ripple must keep the price stable at 30, 40, 50, whatever Ripple thinks that optimal price needs to be in order to target those high value payments for their clients. Now again, guys, I wasn't at Swell. This is coming from Mr. B. Again, I do trust him. He is a very valuable person in the XRP community. And this is what he said David told him. So I can only take it at face value, guys. Again, I will link his video in the description if you want to watch Mr. B's video. So just think about this for a second, guys. And this from Galgatron. I know many of you feel like you missed out on some altcoin breakouts. Know this, though. There are organized pump and dump cartels that strategically, artificially pump coins, drawing attention and fresh capital from surge chasers. Don't chase, it's a trap. Invest in fundamentals, and I keep telling you guys this. There are going to be pumps, there are going to be dumps. This is the same kind of thing that David Schwartz explained to Mr. B with regards to retail trader psychology. When people see a bull run, they want to hop on board, and the price goes wild. So do you think XRP will shoot up to $30, $40, maybe even $50 or beyond in the blink of an eye? Put it down in the comments. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.